Hi students, we'll go with the today module 2, that is fresh concrete. Fresh concrete in your term you can decide as that is freshly mixed concrete materials, that is fine aggregate, coarse aggregate and water, cement all together mixed in a fresh state. You have to understand little bit here. So we'll go with the first, that is fresh state means it comes as workability only. So workability, what is the definition? We will see it. The workability can be defined as that property of freshly mixed concrete or mortar which determines the ease and homogeneity with which it can be mixed, placed, compacted and finished. This is very important. Throughout there has to be sustained. It should not set all those things. It has to qualify here. So we'll go with the next, that is factors affecting workability. To get a workable concrete, you can call it as workable concrete, exhibits the intent of friction between the particle to particle. We are talking fact workability means that is friction has to be minimum. For that, few are the factors are affecting. One is water content, how much water you can add it, that is very important here. You add more and more water to get a easy doing of the concrete or preparation of concrete, that is we discussed in the earlier definition workability. It's not possible to mix the water more and more. You have to be very careful. If it is more, then it will be affecting the hardened properties of concrete. So water content in a given volume of concrete will have significant influences on the workability. The higher the water content per cubic meter, the higher will be the fluidity of concrete, which is one of the important factors affecting the workability. Next, we'll go with the size of aggregate. As the size is very important here, if the bigger size of aggregate if you are using, the wetting surface area is going to decrease it. As you go with the finer particles, then definitely wetting surface is more, so that the water demand will be more. So you have to be consider the size of aggregate has to be good grading to avoid the voids also. Next we will go with the surface texture of aggregate. Surface texture means the surface, is it smooth or rough? As per the hardened concrete, if you consider, that has to be rough, but as per the workability or fresh state, if you consider, that has to be smooth. If you use rounded aggregate, the lubrication will be easy and you will be getting more workable. But you have to be going with the angular aggregate so that it adjusts hardened properly as well as fresh properties. Next that is the mix proportion. Here mix proportion means that is all the mix materials, that is you are taking the quantity is very important. But here aggregate cement ratio is playing a very important role. The leaner the concrete mix, the higher the leaner the concrete, the less quantity of paste is available for providing the lubrication. So you have to be consider the cement and aggregate in the balanced manner. You have to select it. Next we can go with the shape of aggregate. Shape of aggregate means that is we have discussed the different shapes of aggregate in the BMCT, that is subject. The shape of aggregate influences the workability in good measure. Angular, elongated or flaky aggregates makes the concrete very harsh when compared to the rounded aggregate. Next we'll go with a grading of aggregate, that is a well graded aggregate is the one of which has the least amount of voids in the given volume. That is you have to select a well graded aggregates. And next, that is use of admixtures. The most important factor which affects the workability is the use of admixtures. The plasticizers and super plasticizer greatly improve the uh, workability. Next we'll go with a measurement of workability. How to measure the workability, that is these are the different tests are available as per the Indian standard, that is slump test, compacting factor test, VB consistometer, flow test and caliber. So first we can in these things, so usually we will go in a site, that is you want to test it, we can go with the slump test only. We are doing a slump test here maximum times, and in the laboratory we are preferring these two tests, VB and compacting factor test. Kelly ball is very easy to conduct the test, just you can measure it very quickly. So we'll go with the first one, that is slump test. Here we can go it. So here slump test, this is the apparatus, you can use it here. This one is apparatus, that is all in dimension in centimeter. Here it is written here. The cone, this is in the shape of cone, that is one cone will be there, and for that dimension is 10 centimeter diameter at the top, and bottom it is having 20 centimeter diameter, and the height of the cone is 30 centimeter. So you have to prepare a concrete with the mixed proportion which one you designed, that has to be filled here in four layers. Each layer is 1/4 of the total height you have to select, and each layer has to be compacted in 25 number of blows. You have to compact it and then trim off, and then you have to lift this cone upward. Then you can measure the how much slump is it. You got it, you can measure it. The vertical subsidence is known as slump. Okay, the vertical subsidence from the top surface, that is how much height, that is subsidence is happened, that is called as slump. And here different types of slumps you can observe it. Three types here, that is one is collapse slump, shear slump, and true slump. If concrete slumps evenly, it is called as a true slump. You can see here, this is a true slump. If the one half of the cone slides down, it is called as a shear slump. In case of shear slump, the slump value is measured in the difference of height between the height of the mold and the average value of subsidence. Collapsible one is nothing but it is fully collapsed, you can see it, that is flowable, somewhat flowable, is called as collapsible slump. Next we will go with the compacting factor test. This is a compacting factor apparatus, this one. Here you can see that top hopper, this is called as top hopper, and this one is bottom hopper. So two hoppers are there. For each hopper you will be having a trap door here, and below that, after two hoppers, you can keep a cylinder here. This is called as cylinder, and you want these things, so that is trowel and tamping rod. If you want it, then the upper hopper dimension is given here, and the this is also given the height, and the diameter is 150 of cylinder, and 150 mm, it is 300 mm height the cylinder is used here. So first you have to fill the concrete, whatever mixed design concrete here. In this place you have to top hopper, you have to, or upper hopper, you have to fill it while closing the bottom top hopper door as well as bottom hopper door has to be closed. Fill it, no tamping has to be done here. Fill it and trim off, and later you have to remove the upper hopper door, and once it fills the lower hopper, then you remove this one and fill it for a cylinder, that is cylinder. Once it is cylinder is filled, trimmed off, and weigh that. This one is called as a partially compacted weight you will be getting, and later you remove all the concrete and fill it in 6 layers. Each layer has to be tamped in 25 number of blows, and then you again weigh it, and that difference, that is partial divided fully compacted, is called as compaction factor value. As the maximum value of compaction factor you can expect as 1, it should not be more than 1, because it is partial but fully. You can compact maximum as fully by fully, that's it. Okay, so next we will go with a VB consistometer, that is this all the dimensions and the diameter. Same, the cone is a slump cone is used here also. While filling in concrete, again 4 layers you have to fill it. 25 number of tamping has to be done, and one vibrator you can stable a table you can see, and one cylinder container. This is cylinder container. Once you fill this one and remove it, 3 or 4 layers, remove it, and then you have to start vibrating table. At that same time you have to start the time stopwatch. You have to start and note down the time in VB seconds. Next, we will go with the two topics, that is segregation and bleeding. It is hand in hand, segregation and bleeding. Segregation can be defined as the separation of ingredients of concrete mix so that mix is no longer in homogeneous condition. Such concrete is not only going to be weak, also going to induce all undesirable properties in the hardened concrete. Segregation may occur in following forms, that is separation of coarse aggregate, separation of paste or matrix from the whole concrete, and also separation of water from the mix. Then the causes of segregation, that is how it causes a segregation. A badly proportioned mix with very less cement, paste or matrix, insufficient mixing of concrete, dropping of concrete from height during placing, improper method of compaction, adoption of high water cement ratio. Then how to avoid segregation? A well-made concrete taking into consideration of various parameters such as grading, size, shape of aggregates with optimum quantity of water makes a cohesive mix. Such concrete will not segregate. Also proper method to be adopted while placing and compaction of concrete. Next we will go with the bleeding. Bleeding is sometimes referred as water gain. It is uh, it is particular form of segregation in which some of the water from the concrete comes out to the surface of the water, being the lowest specific gravity among all the ingredients of concrete. Bleeding is predominantly observed in a highly wet mix, badly proportioned and insufficiently mixed concrete. Okay, thank you for listening this much. Thank you.